Welcome to the African savanna, a land where silence is never peace and beauty hides beneath the shadow of survival. Here, the golden grass sways under a blazing sun, while life teeters on a knife's edge. Lions stalk. Hyenas scheme. Every breath is a gamble. Every heartbeat a test. This is nature at its rawest. A battlefield of instinct, power, and strategy. And in this eternal contest, one truth prevails. Only the fiercest will endure. Ready to witness the wild, unfiltered? Let the story begin. Blood on the wind. A renewed reflection. As dusk casts its final golden light across the vast savanna, the landscape is set ablaze with a crimson hue, like nature itself is bearing witness to an ancient truth. But this beauty carries a foreboding weight. The air, thick with the dry scent of dust and sweat, also holds something darker, an unspoken promise of violence. Blood, though unseen, seems to ride the breeze like a silent herald of what's to come. Not far away, a slow-moving herd of buffalo advances cautiously toward a waterhole. Their pace is steady, but their senses are sharpened. Every ear flick, every wary glance into the underbrush reveals their deep familiarity with danger. This land is not theirs alone. It is shared, contested, and marked by centuries of survival. Here, every shadow might conceal death. In that very shadow, the lions wait, not with roar or chaos, but with a silence more chilling than noise. All day they've stalked, biding their time beneath the sun's merciless gaze. Now, in the cool hush of twilight, they prepare to strike. Muscles coiled like springs, their golden forms meld with the tall grass. There is no hesitation in their eyes, no room for doubt. Tonight's hunt isn't just about feeding. It's about proving something primal, asserting dominance in a world where hesitation means hunger. And miscalculation can mean death. But what makes this moment hauntingly profound isn't the act of predation itself. It's the silent contract both predator and prey have inherited, a contract dictated by the rhythms of the wild. The lions do not hate the buffalo do not resent the lions. This is not a war of vengeance, but a ritual of existence. A brutal, elegant necessity, where survival is earned with every heartbeat. A feast interrupted, a deeper reckoning of power and instinct. The still form of a young buffalo, now lifeless on the earth, marks the climax of a deadly pursuit. The lions, having secured their hard-earned kill, begin their grim banquet. The sounds are raw and visceral, flesh ripping under powerful jaws, breath heaving from exertion, tails flicking in satisfaction. It's not a celebration, but a necessity. Here, in the wild, meals are never guaranteed and never leisurely. Every bite could be the last before chaos returns. There is urgency in their feast. Time is never on the side of the hunter, not in this contested realm. The savanna has many eyes, eyes that know when to strike, when to steal. The lions, aware of this, eat swiftly. One by one, they peel away from the scene, vanishing into the bush to digest and recover in safety. But one lioness does not follow. She lingers, not out of greed or hunger, but because of duty. Nestled beside her are her cubs, fragile, dependent, and utterly defenseless. She becomes their shield, tethered to the kill not by instinct alone, but by maternal obligation. Her body may ache from the hunt, but her resolve is unshaken. As night unfurls across the plains and a cold breath settles over the grass, she holds her ground. Yet the serenity of twilight is deceptive. From beyond the veil of night come whispers, leaves disturbed, the cadence of paws against dry soil. Then comes the unmistakable sound, laughter. Not the joyful kind, but the mocking, calculated chorus of hyenas. They emerge like phantoms, first a few, then a swarm. Eyes glowing like coals, noses wet with anticipation. They are confident. They've done the math. One lioness, no matter how fierce, is outnumbered, and she's anchored by the weight of motherhood. This moment is more than a territorial standoff. It is a meditation on power and vulnerability. The lioness, apex predator though she may be, is now a guardian before she is a killer. The hyenas, often caricatured as scavengers, reveal their strategic brilliance. They do not rush. They understand that patience, like strength, is a form of dominance. In this quiet but charged confrontation, we see nature's brutal symmetry. The feast that began with triumph now teeters on the edge of loss. Roles blur. Predator becomes protector. Opportunists become aggressors. And all beneath a silent moon that watches, impartial and eternal. Here, the wild teaches its hardest truths. That survival isn't merely about strength, but timing, alliances, and the courage to stand when running isn't an option. The lone defender, strength beyond the fight. Amid the golden silence of the savannah, a lone lioness stands her ground. Her muscles ripple with tension. Her eyes blaze not with fear, but with resolve. Surrounded by circling hyenas, she roars, not just to warn, but to declare, "I am here, and I will not fall without purpose." The hyenas, emboldened by their numbers, press forward with eerie calm. They know this dance well. But so does she. Time seems to pause. The showdown is less a clash of claws and more a battle of minds. Then, with deliberate grace, the lioness does the unthinkable. She steps back, not in fear, but in wisdom. She doesn't turn her back. She moves like a queen, withdrawing from a battle not worth the throne. Her cubs press into her side, their trust unshaken. What matters now is not the carcass left behind, but the lives she carries forward. The hyenas seize what's left, their chaotic laughter piercing the air. To them, this is a win. But from the shadows, the lioness watches. Not broken, only waiting. She's lost the kill, yes, but her cubs are safe. That is a victory no hyena can claim. When the dust settles and the scavengers vanish, she rises once more, leading her young into the night. No mourning, no pause. In the wild, survival isn't pride, it's purpose. And sometimes the bravest choice is to walk away. In her retreat, the lioness reveals the fiercest kind of strength. Not the glory of conquest, but the power to choose life over ego. This is her triumph, not in blood, but in legacy. The warthog. Tough, tenacious, and fearlessly resourceful. Amidst the sun-scorched grasses of the African plains, roams a creature often underestimated. The African warthog. Stocky, scrappy, and undeniably resilient, the warthog isn't built for beauty or speed, but for survival. In a land ruled by apex predators, this wild pig has carved out a reputation as one of the savanna's most determined survivors. At first glance, the warthog may seem unremarkable. Short, bristled fur, a blunt snout, curved tusks, and twitching ears. But beneath its rugged appearance lies a suite of adaptations tailored for harsh conditions. Omnivorous and opportunistic, the warthog consumes everything from grasses and roots to wallen fruit, and even the occasional carcass. In times of drought, when food becomes scarce and the land cracks with thirst, it puts its powerful snout and sturdy legs to work, digging into the parched earth for buried sustenance. But feeding is only half the battle. The warthog must constantly evade some of Africa's most formidable hunters, including lions, leopards, and hyenas. It may not outrun them in a straight chase, but it doesn't try to. Instead, the warthog employs clever evasive tactics, darting in zigzags with its tail held high, a signal flag for others in its group to follow. This chaotic path can buy it precious seconds, enough to slip into a burrow or dense brush. Corner a warthog, however, and you won't find a passive victim. With a surprising burst of courage, it may charge head-on. Its upward curving tusks, often over a foot long, can slash and stab with shocking effectiveness. Even lions can suffer painful wounds from a warthog that decides to stand its ground. The African warthog is more than just prey. It's a symbol of rugged determination. Its survival isn't owed to brute strength or speed, but to a sharp blend of grit, instinct, and adaptability. In a world where size often dictates power, the warthog proves that true toughness comes in many forms. And sometimes it carries tusks. In the untamed wilderness of the African savanna, survival isn't just a matter of instinct, it's a legacy passed from one generation to the next. And for young warthogs, that legacy begins with their mother. She is more than a guardian. She is a teacher, a strategist, and when necessary, a fearless defender. From the moment her piglets are born, the female warthog begins shaping their path to independence. She guides them through the rhythms of the wild, how to forage for roots and tubers, where to find hidden water during dry spells, and most importantly, how to sense and respond to danger. But she doesn't panic at the first rustle in the grass. Instead, she pauses, assessing the threat with calm precision. If the danger escalates, she doesn't hesitate to fight. Her tusks and fierce resolve are weapons sharpened by maternal instinct. Through her example, her piglets gain more than survival skills. They gain confidence. By 6 months, many are ready to face the world on their own, armed with lessons etched into their behavior by daily observation and shared experience. Though warthogs are capable foragers and defenders, they are practical creatures when it comes to shelter. Rather than digging their own homes, they repurpose the abandoned burrows of aardvarks or other animals. And they don't enter headfirst. They back in, always facing the exit, always alert. It's a simple yet brilliant tactic, allowing them to watch for danger even while resting. As the African night deepens and the roar of lions echoes across the plains, herds of antelope settle into stillness, seeking safety in numbers. But in one quiet burrow, a warthog mother curls into herself, her piglets nestled close. She doesn't fear the darkness. She knows its rules. She's faced them before, and she will again. Tomorrow, new challenges will rise with the sun. But for now, she rests, ever ready, ever watchful. In her strength lies a quiet lesson. That motherhood in the wild is not just about nurturing. It's about leading with courage, teaching with purpose, and standing unshaken in the face of adversity. Nature's Doctor. The remarkable role of the oxpecker warbler. Amid the sweeping African grasslands, where powerful herds of buffalo, antelope, rhinos, and zebras traverse the plains, a tiny bird performs an outsized role in the natural order. Perched confidently on the backs of these massive animals is the oxpecker warbler, often referred to as nature's doctor. Though small in stature, this bird plays a crucial role in maintaining the health of its towering companions. The bond between the oxpecker and its host is one of mutual benefit. While the larger animals offer a safe platform and steady food supply, the oxpecker repays the favor by meticulously removing parasites from their skin. Ticks, fleas, and other blood-sucking pests are its primary target, making the bird an essential ally in controlling disease and irritation among the herds. But to call the oxpecker merely a cleaner would be an understatement. These birds are true marvels of adaptation. Measuring just 18 to 20 centimeters in length, their physical features are finely tuned to their role. With powerful legs and razor-sharp claws, they can latch securely onto fur, even while their host is on the move. Whether galloping or grazing, the oxpecker maintains its grip with effortless precision. Their appearance is equally suited to their lifestyle. With soft brown plumage that blends into the environment, bright red eyes that provide sharp vision, and narrow pointed beaks designed for precise picking, they are perfectly equipped to detect and remove even the smallest intruder buried in thick skin or fur. Beyond their cleaning service, oxpeckers also act as an early warning system. Sensitive to movement and sound, they often alert their hosts to approaching danger with their sharp calls, a hidden layer of protection that adds to their value in the wild. But the relationship isn't always as simple as it seems. Recent studies have shown that oxpeckers sometimes cross the line between helpful and harmful. While they feed on parasites, they may also peck at open wounds to keep them bleeding, sustaining a steady source of food. This behavior blurs the line between mutualism and parasitism. A reminder that even in nature's partnerships, self-interest often drives survival. Moreover, their influence extends beyond the savanna's giants. By reducing parasite loads and indirectly controlling disease, oxpeckers help maintain the delicate ecological balance among grazing species. A healthier herd travels farther, feeds longer, and resists infections more effectively. All of which impacts predator-prey dynamics and even plant life across the plains. In the grand symphony of the African savanna, the oxpecker warbler may be small, but its role is anything but insignificant. It is a testament to the brilliance of symbiosis, where survival and success are often the result of quiet partnerships forged in the heart of the wild. And in that harmony, even the tiniest voice can make a mighty difference. Partners or parasites. The curious case of the oxpecker. In Africa's sprawling savannas, the oxpecker is a familiar sight atop buffalo, giraffes, or rhinos, seemingly a loyal helper picking off pests. But this small bird hides a dual nature. While the red-billed and yellow-billed oxpeckers do provide valuable grooming by eating ticks and fleas, they're not always the benevolent allies they appear to be. Studies reveal a darker truth. Oxpeckers have been caught feeding on open wounds, pecking them to stay fresh and bleeding. What seems like a win-win partnership is often a calculated feeding strategy. Some animals have even grown wise to the trick. Buffalo now swat their tails more frequently, and rhinos twitch to shake the birds off. This behavior challenges our ideas of mutualism. The oxpecker isn't just a helper, it's also a subtle exploiter, dancing on the line between symbiosis and parasitism. In the wild, where survival is a daily negotiation, even allies come with hidden motives. The oxpecker, with its clever opportunism, is a striking example of nature's fine print. Relationships, like survival, are never simple. The sentinel on your back. Guardians of the Savannah High. Above the African plains, the oxpecker perches not just as a cleaner, but as a vigilant guardian. These sharp-eyed birds, often seen clinging to buffalo, giraffes, and antelope, serve as early warning systems, alerting their massive hosts with piercing cries when predators draw near. For many animals with limited vision, the oxpecker's warning call can be life-saving. Yet protection isn't their only contribution. Oxpeckers are remarkably adaptable, thriving across grasslands, riverbanks, and wooded savannas. They live much of their lives on the backs of large mammals, but also drink from puddles and roost in trees when not foraging. Their most unusual trait? A taste for blood. Unlike most birds, oxpeckers can digest blood, allowing them to feed from wounds when ticks are scarce. This dual role, as both healer and exploiter, adds nuance to their reputation. Today, however, oxpeckers face growing threats from habitat loss and veterinary drugs that poison their food sources. Conservationists now emphasize their ecological importance, not just as pest controllers, but as protectors of the plains. In the grand web of life, the oxpecker is a small but vital guardian. The rise of the cheetah cubs. From shadows to stripes of strength. As the first light of dawn stretches across the savanna, a quiet yet profound journey begins. A mother cheetah, sleek and focused, steps into the new day with her 3-month-old cubs at her heels. Their coats shimmer with soft, downy fur, the black spots across their backs still faint. But beneath those delicate features lies the early fire of predators in training. Each cub is a world of its own. One charges ahead with reckless confidence, another hangs back, eyes wide with caution. The third mirrors its mother, silent, watchful, deliberate. Together, they make up a symphony of emerging personalities, each shaped by instinct and the slow sculpting of experience. The mother is not only a provider, she is a teacher. Her lessons are not spoken, but demonstrated through every crouch, every twitch of the tail, every calculated sprint. When she spots a young gazelle in the distance, her muscles coil in silence. In a blur of precision, she strikes. There is no spectacle, only the clean, silent artistry of survival. She drags the kill to the shade, not for herself, but for her cubs. The feast is both nourishment and a lesson. But feeding isn't enough. The cubs must learn through movement, mimicry, and play. They stalk one another, chase imaginary prey, and pounce with awkward determination. Each tumble sharpens their reflexes. Each mock fight hones their timing. These are not mere games. They are the groundwork of the hunt. As days turn into weeks, the cubs encounter their first brushes with danger. A sudden alarm call from a nearby bird signals the presence of a jackal. The mother tenses, standing tall and emits a low growl. Her body shields the cubs, who freeze, instincts kicking in. It is a fleeting moment, but one that teaches without a scratch the importance of vigilance in a world where they are not the only hunters. The family also learns to adapt to the rhythm of the land. The rains come and go, reshaping the terrain. Rivers swell, grass thickens, and prey becomes both more abundant and harder to track. The cubs must relearn the terrain, navigating a maze of new smells, fresh trails, and the ever-shifting winds of the wild. They grow leaner, stronger, faster. Their movements, once clumsy, now flow with fluid grace. Then comes the moment every cheetah mother prepares for, but none can fully predict. A gazelle calf grazes alone in the distance. No signal is needed. The cubs, now practiced shadows of their mother, spread out, eyes fixed, bodies low. In a burst of speed, they close the gap. Elegant, deadly, sure. This time, the takedown is theirs. Their kill, their victory. From the shade, their mother watches, not as a rescuer or leader, but as a witness to a milestone. Her cubs are no longer just learners. They are hunters. In this moment, a threshold is crossed. The innocence of cubhood slips away, replaced by the weight of independence. The rise of the cheetah cubs is not just a story of speed, it's one of growth, mentorship, and instinct awakened. The elephant's legacy. Wisdom carved in the dust. On the boundless stage of Africa's grasslands, where birth and death often share the same breath, a new life stirs, a baby elephant? Tiny beneath the towering legs of its herd, though enveloped in the safety of family. The calf is not coddled. From its very first steps, life demands awareness, resilience, and learning. In this ever-moving community, protection comes with purpose. The herd does not simply shield, it teaches. Under the watchful eyes of mothers and aunts, calves are introduced to the rhythm of survival. They wade through rivers, stumble and rise again, and slowly discover how to use their most versatile tool, the trunk. It becomes their straw, their hand, their weapon. With it, they will drink, forage, play, and one day defend. A mud bath is more than playtime. These cooling wallows coat the skin against the brutal sun and fend off biting insects. Even in moments of seeming joy, there is function. There is always purpose, but no place is safe for long. An adult elephant must consume up to 150 kilograms of vegetation each day. Trees are stripped, grasses flattened, and waterholes visited in a constant search for sustenance. This never-ending migration shapes more than the land. It shapes the elephants themselves. Young ones walk for miles, building strength and knowledge with every step. Each journey becomes a lesson, each turn in the landscape a memory engraved. At night, the vast savanna appears still, but true silence never comes. The distant growl of lions, the shuffle of hooves, and the wind weaving through tall grass remind all creatures of their place in the cycle. The elephants rest briefly, standing or lying close, ever alert, their ears tuned to the vibrations of the earth. In this grand and ancient dance of survival, elephants pass down more than genes. They pass down judgment, compassion, memory, and resilience. Theirs is not just a legacy of size or power, but of endurance, intelligence, and the quiet dignity of a creature that remembers where it has been and teaches the young how to find the way forward. Mud, memory, and motherhood. Where play meets survival. Morning breaks across the African plains, golden light shimmering on the river's surface as the elephant herd arrives. For the calves, it's a moment of unfiltered joy. They charge into the water with awkward enthusiasm, splashing, slipping, learning. This is more than play, it's preparation. Every stumble teaches balance. Every splash is part of becoming. At the center of this moment stands one of nature's most remarkable tools, the elephant's trunk. With around 40,000 individual muscles, it is a masterpiece of precision and power. The calves fumble with theirs, using them to gulp water, reach for food, or spray muddy jets in delight. Over time, this trunk will become a vital instrument, essential for survival in a landscape that demands resilience. The mothers are never far. With practiced movements, they coat their young in protective layers of mud, a natural armor against the sun and biting insects. It's a gesture of care, but also of instinct passed through generations. Their massive ears, flapping slowly, help regulate body temperature, but in danger, they lift and widen, transforming into shields that both warn and guard. For a brief while, the world is still. In these sacred pauses, the elephants are not just a herd but a family. A moving, breathing bond shaped by memory, wisdom, and connection. Each gesture, from a gentle nudge to a low rumble, carries meaning beyond words. It is in these small shared rituals that their culture lives. But peace on the savanna is always temporary. Suddenly, a deep rumble splits the air. Two bull elephants emerge, their towering forms locked in a primal contest. Tusks clash, dust rises, and the ground trembles under their weight. It's not mere aggression, it's dominance, mating rights, the language of adulthood written in force. The calves watch from a distance, absorbing yet another lesson carved by nature itself. As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the riverbank in amber hues, the herd moves on. The day has offered nourishment, protection, play, and education. Each step away from the river carries more than footprints. It carries knowledge, passed silently from mother to calf, from river to dust. This is elephant life, shaped by mud, anchored in memory, guided by motherhood. And as the herd disappears into the twilight, the river remains behind. Not just a stop on the journey, but a chapter in their collective story. The giraffe's vigil. Grace in the canopy, power in stillness. In a world ruled by teeth, claws, and speed, there exists a creature that reigns not through aggression, but through elegance and perspective. Rising above the golden plains of the savanna is the giraffe, Africa's watchtower. With legs as long as a man is tall and necks that reach the heights of treetops, giraffes live in a realm that few others can access. The canopy. At first glance, they seem gentle, even awkward, gliding slowly across the land like living sculptures, but don't let their serene presence deceive you. Giraffes are sentinels, watchful, aware, and always listening. Their height gives them a panoramic view of danger. Long before it reaches the herd, a flick of the ear, a sudden freeze, and the message is clear. Something stirs in the bush. Feeding at the top of acacia trees, giraffes browse where others cannot. Their long tongues, nimble and blue-black, curl expertly around thorny branches to pluck the softest leaves. Yet feeding is not without risk. Predators like lions know giraffes can't always run fast enough to escape, especially the young, and so giraffes stay alert. Every sip of water a test of timing, every step calculated. But if cornered, the giraffe reveals its secret weapon. One well-placed kick from its muscular legs can crush a lion's skull or shatter bones. It doesn't attack often, but when it does, the savanna remembers. Their society is loose yet connected. Females form nursery groups where calves gather and learn under the collective watch of their mothers. Males roam solo or spar gently in necking battles, testing strength with graceful swinging arcs. At dusk, when shadows stretch across the land and predators begin to stir, the giraffe does not flee. It simply lifts its head a little higher, scanning the horizon with calm eyes that have seen the dance of survival for generations. In a land that often rewards brute force, the giraffe thrives on grace, awareness, and the quiet strength of those who stand tall and see far. the hyena's realm. Intelligence, hierarchy, and the power of the pack. In the golden silence of the African savanna, not all strength comes from size or brute force. Some of the most complex and cunning creatures here walk not in solitary might, but in carefully coordinated groups. Among these are the spotted hyenas. Animals too often misunderstood, yet unrivaled in their strategic prowess and social sophistication. Far from the caricature of mindless scavengers, hyenas are master tacticians, capable hunters, and among the most intelligent mammals on the plains. Their brains, in proportion to body size, are larger than those of lions, and their behavior reflects this cognitive edge. They communicate using a rich vocal language, whoops, cackles, grunts, and groans that convey information about rank, danger, and intent. Each sound has a purpose, and within the pack, every move is calculated. At the heart of hyena society lies an intricate matriarchy. Female hyenas dominate the hierarchy, larger, stronger, and more assertive than their male counterparts. The highest-ranking females eat first, choose the best dens, and pass on their power to their daughters. This structure is more than tradition. It's an evolutionary advantage that ensures a continuity and stability within the clan. Hunting is a collective art form. While a lion relies on strength and stealth, hyenas use endurance and coordination. They are long-distance runners, capable of chasing prey for miles under the relentless African sun. Once the target begins to tire, the clan tightens its formation. Some flank from the sides, others drive the animal forward. Each member aware of their role, each attack synchronized like a military maneuver. Their jaws, among the strongest in the animal kingdom, make short work of even the thickest bones, ensuring that no part of the kill is wasted. But hyenas are also adaptive opportunists. If lions abandon a carcass, the hyenas move in without hesitation. If the odds are right, they challenge even a dominant predator, using numbers and nerve to take what they believe they deserve. Their courage is rooted not in arrogance, but in strategy. A keen sense of when to press forward and when to retreat. Young hyenas are not left to learn by instinct alone. From their first days in the communal den, they're immersed in a world of lessons. How to wrestle, how to read signals, how to recognize authority. Their education is constant, rigorous, and unforgiving. By the time they join the adults, they are not just survivors, they are skilled contributors to the power of the clan. To witness a hyena clan in action is to see nature's intelligence at work. It's a reminder that the wild favors not just the strong, but the clever, the united, and the relentless. In the theater of African wildlife, the hyena plays not a secondary role, but a central one, shaping the balance of power and redefining what it means to rule not with muscle, but with mind. From the mighty lioness guarding her young to the cunning hyena pack, the clever oxpecker, and the towering giraffe. Every creature here plays a vital part in this untamed symphony of survival. The African savanna is more than just a battlefield. It's a living, breathing story of instinct, resilience, and unspoken wisdom. If these wild tales stirred something in you, don't let the journey end here. Follow us for more raw truths and untold wonders from the heart of the wild.